Finding perfect 10 out of 10 games to play can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. With so many releases every year, it's hard to know which games truly stand out and deliver an unforgettable experience. You don't want to waste your time or money on titles that overpromise but underdeliver. This list highlights those rare games that have earned perfect scores and are absolute must-plays for anyone serious about gaming in 2025. Before we jump into the video, if you enjoy content like this, please hit that subscribe button. Your support genuinely motivates me to keep creating these in-depth videos and share hidden gaming treasures with you. It means a lot and helps the channel grow, so I can keep bringing you even more great content. Thank you then. Without wasting more time, let's get into the video. Ghost of Tsushima absolutely blew me away from the moment I picked up the controller. The first thing that hits you is how drop-dead gorgeous this game looks. We're talking about rolling fields of pampas grass swaying in the wind, golden leaves falling during autumn, and these insane sunsets that make you just stop and stare. Sucker Punch created something special here. The way the wind guides you instead of traditional markers feels so natural and immersive. The combat system is where this game truly shines and separates itself from everything else out there. Every sword fight feels like a deadly dance where one mistake can end you. The standoffs are pulse-pounding moments where you're staring down enemies, hand on your katana, waiting for that perfect moment to strike. You can switch between different combat stances to counter different enemy types, and it never gets old. It's challenging but fair and incredibly satisfying. What really sets Ghost of Tsushima apart is how it respects your time and intelligence as a player. No hand-holding or constant tutorial pop-ups are ruining your experience. You're free to explore this massive island at your own pace, finding hidden shrines, hot springs, and fox dens. The photo mode is absolutely next level too. I've spent hours just capturing perfect shots of Jin against beautiful backdrops. It's that kind of game. This is a complete package that delivers on every front. The gameplay loop of exploring, fighting, and upgrading your skills never feels repetitive. Whether you're liberating towns, dueling expert swordsmen, or just riding through forests, everything feels purposeful and rewarding. It's one of those rare games that respects both the player's time and intelligence while delivering an unforgettable experience from start to finish. Cyberpunk 2077 had a rough launch, but after all the updates and fixes, this game is an absolute masterpiece that deserves your attention. Night City is hands down one of the most detailed and alive open worlds ever created in gaming. Each district has its own feel, from the fancy city center to the chaotic Pacifica. The neon lights, the advertisements everywhere, the crowds of people living their lives, it pulls you into this dystopian future like nothing else can. The gameplay gives you so much freedom to tackle missions your way, and that's where it really hooked me. You can go in guns blazing like a solo mercenary, hack everything from the shadows using your cyberdeck, or sneak through vents and take enemies down silently. Every approach feels viable and fun. The RPG elements are deep too. You're constantly upgrading your cyberware, finding better weapons, and customizing your character's abilities to match your playstyle. It's incredibly rewarding. What makes Cyberpunk special is how your choices actually matter throughout the game. The characters you meet feel real and complex, not just quest givers throwing tasks at you. The side missions are often just as compelling as the main story, with real emotional weight and consequences. You'll find yourself genuinely caring about the people in Night City. The voice acting and motion capture work is top tier across the board, making every conversation feel authentic and meaningful. The Phantom Liberty expansion took everything great about the base game and cranked it up even higher. This is the definitive version of Cyberpunk 2077, and it's finally the game we were all promised. Whether you're cruising through the city on your motorcycle, getting into intense firefights, or just soaking in the atmosphere of this incredible world, every moment feels special. Don't let the rocky launch fool you. This is essential gaming. Black Myth Wukong came out of nowhere and completely redefined what action games can be. It's inspired by Chinese mythology and offers some of the most exciting, intense combat I've played. Boss fights feel super epic, like you're going against gods and monsters much bigger and stronger than you. The transformation abilities let you turn into different creatures mid-combat, and figuring out the right strategy for each encounter is incredibly rewarding. The visual presentation here is absolutely stunning, and unlike anything we've seen before. We're talking about ancient Chinese temples hidden in misty mountains, lush forests filled with spirits, and these massive mythological creatures that look ripped straight from legend. The attention to detail in every environment is insane. It runs on Unreal Engine 5 and pushes graphics to levels that feel next generation. Every area you explore feels handcrafted and purposeful. What really impressed me is how the game respects Chinese mythology and culture while making it accessible to everyone. You don't need to know Journey to the West to enjoy this, but if you do, you'll catch tons of cool references and deeper meanings. The staff combat feels weighty and impactful. Every swing, every dodge, every counter matters. You've got different stances and abilities to unlock, and the progression system keeps you engaged throughout the entire journey without feeling grindy. This game proves that innovation in the action genre is still possible when developers take risks and trust their vision. The difficulty is tough but never unfair, and overcoming each challenge gives you that rush that only great games can deliver. From the incredible boss designs to the fluid combat system to the breathtaking world, Black Myth: Wukong is a must-play experience that shows the future of action gaming is in great hands. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is one of those hidden gems that absolutely deserves way more attention than it's getting. This turn-based RPG mixes in real-time action, so you don't just pick commands and watch, you're actually timing blocks, dodges, and counters during fights. It keeps you engaged every single second of battle, and it makes traditional turn-based combat feel exciting and dynamic in ways I haven't experienced before. The art direction in this game is breathtaking, and has this unique Belle Epoque French aesthetic that sets it apart from everything else. It feels like a dark fairy tale with detailed characters and environments that stand out. The story is haunting. Every year, an entity called the Paintress makes people of a certain age vanish. You're part of Expedition 33, and you're all 33 years old, so the stakes are incredibly personal and urgent throughout your journey. What makes this game special is how it balances its gorgeous visuals with deep strategic gameplay that keeps you thinking. The character progression system lets you customize your party in meaningful ways, and experimenting with different builds and team compositions never gets old. The story hits hard with genuine emotional moments that caught me off guard. These aren't just generic RPG characters, they feel like real people facing their mortality. What really sets the game apart is how it blends beautiful visuals with deep, strategic gameplay. The combination of stunning visuals, innovative combat mechanics, and compelling storytelling creates an experience that sticks with you long after you finish. If you're tired of the same old RPG formula and want something that respects your intelligence while delivering fresh ideas, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 needs to be on your radar immediately. Sleeping Dogs is one of the most underrated open-world games ever made, and it's criminal how many people slept on this absolute gem. The hand-to-hand combat system is brutally satisfying and inspired by Hong Kong action movies. You'll slam enemies into phone booths, throw them onto meat hooks, and use the environment in brutal, creative ways. Once you get the hang of it, the combat flows so smoothly that it feels like being the star of your own martial arts film. Hong Kong as a setting is what really makes this game stand out from the crowded open-world genre. The neon-lit streets of North Point, busy night markets, and shadowy back alleys all capture the city's energy perfectly. The rain-slicked streets reflecting those bright lights create this moody, cinematic vibe that pulls you in. You'll find yourself just cruising around on motorcycles, soaking in the atmosphere, and the radio stations pump out cantopop that fits the setting flawlessly. What hooked me most was playing as an undercover cop torn between two worlds, and that tension never lets up. You're doing illegal jobs to maintain your cover while trying to stay true to your badge, and that internal conflict makes every mission feel morally complex. The characters feel real, not just stereotypes, and the voice acting is top-notch with a mix of English and Cantonese that adds authenticity. Plus, side activities like street races and underground fights are genuinely fun. This game deserves to be mentioned alongside GTA and other open-world classics because it does so many things better. The melee combat alone puts most games to shame, and the setting gives it an identity all its own. If you miss Sleeping Dogs when it first came out, do yourself a favor and experience it now. It's proof that sometimes the best games aren't always the most hyped ones, and this hidden gem delivers an unforgettable experience from start to finish. Stellar Blade is a pure action game that focuses on what matters most: tight combat mechanics and challenging boss fights that test your skills. The parry system here is incredibly precise and satisfying once you get the timing down. Every enemy encounter demands your full attention because one wrong move can end you fast. You're playing as Eve fighting these biomechanical monsters, and the weight behind every sword, slash, and dodge feels absolutely perfect. The post-apocalyptic Earth setting is hauntingly beautiful in ways you wouldn't expect from a ruined world. The environments range from overgrown cities reclaimed by nature to these stark desert wastelands with the remnants of human civilization scattered everywhere. The lighting and particle effects are next level, especially during combat when sparks fly and energy blasts light up the screen. It's built on Unreal Engine and the technical polish shows in every frame. What sets Stellar Blade apart is its commitment to pure skill-based gameplay. There's no easy mode holding your hand. You either learn the patterns and master the mechanics, or you don't progress. That might sound harsh, but it creates this incredible sense of accomplishment when you finally beat that boss that's been destroying you. The upgrade system lets you enhance your combat abilities and unlock new skills that expand your options without diluting the core challenge. This is a must-play for anyone who loves pure action games like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, but wants something fresh. The Korean studio Shift Up created something special here that respects the player's dedication and rewards mastery. Every victory feels earned, every encounter keeps you on edge, and the overall package delivers that adrenaline rush that only great action games can provide. It's proof that focused game design beats bloated open worlds any day. After more than 20 years of gaming, few games have fully captured my attention like The Witcher 3. When you first ride into Velen and see that massive open world stretching before you, with villages tucked into forests and monsters lurking in swamps, you realize this isn't just another RPG. Every decision you make feels heavy. You're not picking dialogue options, you're shaping Geralt's legacy. The combat has this brutal rhythm to it. What sets this game apart is how alive everything feels. You'll stumble across a random hut in the woods, find a letter on a corpse, and suddenly you're tracking down a griffin that's been terrorizing farmers. These aren't waypoint quests, they're stories. The side quests here are better than most games' main campaigns. You'll spend 3 hours helping a troll find his wife or getting dragged into village politics, and you won't even realize you've forgotten about the main story. The DLC is where CD Projekt Red went absolutely insane. Blood and Wine basically gives you a whole second game with a new region that's more beautiful than the base game. Toussaint looks like a fairy tale, and the story rivals anything in modern gaming. Hearts of Stone has one of the best villains I've ever encountered. These aren't just add-ons, they're masterpieces that could have been sold as standalone games. You're getting hundreds of hours of content. This game respects your time while somehow making you want to sink every free hour into it. The choices you make in Hour 5 will come back to haunt you in Hour 90. Characters you helped will remember you. Villages you saved will thrive. It's the gold standard for open-world RPGs, and honestly, nothing has topped it since 2015. If you haven't played The Witcher 3, you're missing out on one of the greatest gaming experiences ever made. If you've come this far in the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. It's a huge motivation for me to keep creating more amazing and high-quality content just like this. Your support helps me keep going and brings fresh ideas to life. So subscribing is not just a click, it's encouragement for more awesome videos. Thank you for being here and for supporting the channel. The Walking Dead isn't about winning fights or collecting loot, it's about making impossible choices when there's no right answer. From the moment you meet little Clementine and realize you're responsible for keeping this kid alive in a zombie apocalypse, the game grabs your heart and doesn't let go. You're not just clicking dialogue options, you're actively shaping relationships and deciding who lives or dies. And trust me, those choices will mess with you long after you stop playing. What makes this series special is how it treats every character like they matter. These aren't just NPCs waiting to give you quests. They're people with fears, hopes, and backstories that make you genuinely care about them. When someone gets bitten or you must choose between saving people, it hits hard because of the time you spent caring for them. The voice acting and writing are so strong, you'll find yourself arguing with the screen and feeling real grief when things go wrong. The gameplay keeps things tense without relying on action sequences. Sure, there are moments where you're fighting off walkers or quick-time events that get your heart racing, but the real tension comes from the conversations and moral dilemmas. You'll spend minutes staring at dialogue choices, knowing that whatever you pick will change everything. The timer adds this brutal pressure where you can't overthink it. You have to trust your gut and live with what happens. Playing through all the seasons is like watching your favorite brutal TV drama, except you're the one steering the story. Watching Clementine grow up across the series while you guide her decisions creates this incredible connection that few games ever achieve. You'll laugh, you'll definitely cry, and you'll finish each episode needing to immediately start the next one. Even years later, scenes from this series will come to mind and hit you emotionally all over again. Uncharted 4 feels like you're playing through a blockbuster movie, except you're the one pulling off all the insane stunts. The visuals are absolutely breathtaking. Lush jungles, crumbling ruins, and tropical islands that look so real you can almost feel the humidity. Swinging across gaps with your grappling hook while bullets fly past never gets old. And Nathan Drake moves through these spaces in ways that feel smooth and cinematic without ever taking control away from you. The treasure hunting hits that perfect sweet spot where you feel like a real adventurer. You're not following waypoints, you're studying old journals, piecing together clues, and figuring out where to go next. When you finally solve a puzzle and discover some hidden chamber that's been locked away for centuries, it genuinely feels like an achievement. The action-packed set pieces are unforgettable, from fast chases through crowded markets to climbing buildings as they collapse all around you. What really elevates this game is the relationship between Nate and his crew, especially his brother Sam and his wife Elena. The banter feels authentic and funny without being forced, and you can tell these characters have a real history together. You're watching Nate struggle with whether he can leave this dangerous life behind for the people he loves. Those quieter moments, where characters just talk and connect, are just as engaging as the explosive action sequences, which is pretty rare. The pacing is perfect throughout. It knows when to give you breathless action, and when to slow down for exploration and story beats. You'll find yourself replaying chapters just to experience certain moments again, or to find collectibles you missed. This isn't just the best Uncharted game, it's one of those experiences that reminds you why you fell in love with gaming in the first place. Every chapter feels like it tops the last one in pure spectacle and emotional weight. Sekiro will absolutely kick your teeth in, but when you finally master it, you'll feel like an unstoppable ninja warrior. This isn't Dark Souls with a sword, it's a completely different beast that demands you learn its rhythm and flow. Every battle feels like a deadly dance, where timing your parries and strikes perfectly is key. The combat pushes you to be aggressive and precise, and once you master it, even the toughest bosses fall. The world From Software created here is stunning in a completely different way than their other games. You're exploring feudal Japan with gorgeous cherry blossom trees, ancient temples, and misty valleys that feel both beautiful and dangerous. The verticality changes everything. You're grappling up to rooftops, dropping down on enemies from above, and finding secret paths that let you approach situations however you want. There's no easy mode, no summoning help, just you versus the game's challenges. When you're stuck on a boss for hours and finally beat them, that rush of accomplishment is unmatched. You didn't get lucky or overlevel your character, you genuinely got better at the game. The story of revenge and loyalty unfolds in that classic From Software cryptic way, but it's more focused and personal than their other titles, making you care about Wolf's journey. The boss fights are legitimately some of the best in gaming history. Each one teaches you something new and pushes you to refine your skills even further. You'll go from getting demolished in seconds to perfectly deflecting every attack like you're in a samurai movie. Even after you beat the game, you'll want to jump back in to test yourself against those bosses again, or try different combat approaches. Sekiro doesn't hold your hand, but it rewards your dedication like few games can. Elden Ring takes everything From Software learned from Dark Souls and throws it into this massive open world that's absolutely packed with secrets and dangers. The first time you step into the lands between and see that golden tree stretching into the sky, you realize just how enormous this game is. The freedom here is insane, because if a boss is destroying you, you can just leave and explore somewhere else, come back stronger, and try again later. The combat feels incredible, whether you're a magic user launching spells from a distance, or a strength build smashing enemies with a giant hammer. You've got spirit summons to help in tough fights, Ashes of War to customize your weapons, and so many build options that every playthrough can feel completely different. Every corner of this map has something interesting, whether it's a mini-boss, a new weapon, or some environmental storytelling that makes you enjoy it. Boss fights range from epic showdowns against demigods to terrifying encounters in cramped dungeons, and they're all memorable for different reasons. The game constantly surprises you, whether that's fighting a dragon, exploring sparkling caves, or facing nightmare bosses that push your skills to the limit. If you want more, there are co-op and PvP modes where you can team up with friends or face off against other players in intense battles, adding even more replay value. What really sets Elden Ring apart is how it respects your time while still being brutally challenging. Fast travel and generous checkpoints let you tackle the world in any order you want. But make no mistake, this game will still humble you constantly. Beating it feels like a genuine achievement that took skill, patience, and perseverance. It's From Software's masterpiece that somehow lived up to impossible hype and delivered an experience people will be talking about for years. That's it for today's video. We talked about some perfect 10 out of 10 games that you must play at least once in your life. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support really helps me create more content like this. Also, tell me in the comments which game is your favorite or which one I should cover next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.